Imagine a family that, in just 2 generations, went from living in an impoverished Jewish ghetto to controlling the finances of European kings and emperors, a dynasty that financed wars, built railroads, saved nations from bankruptcy, and remains influential over 250 years later. The Rothschilds didn't build this fortune by accident or luck. They systematically applied 5 principles from Jewish wisdom, teachings from the Talmud and Torah, that anyone can use today to build lasting wealth. In the next few minutes, you're going to discover exactly what these principles are, how the Rothschilds applied them, and how you can implement them in your life, even if you're starting from zero. Get ready, because these ancient secrets remain as powerful today as they were in the 18th century. Today, we're unveiling the Jewish principles that transformed the Rothschilds into the most financially powerful family in history. If you want to understand how wisdom from the Talmud and Torah created a banking empire that's lasted centuries, hit that like button now and subscribe to the channel, because what's coming next is a true manual for building generational wealth. Before we dive into the principles, you need to understand where they came from. In the late 18th century, Meyer Amschel Rothschild lived in the Jewish ghetto of Frankfurt, Germany. Jews were forced to live in segregated areas, forbidden from owning land, barred from most professions. They lived under constant threat of expulsion and persecution. Meyer started as a dealer in rare coins and antiquities. He had little capital, but he had something far more valuable: knowledge of the Talmud's financial principles and a long-term vision for his family. When he died in 1812, he had already laid the foundation of an empire. But the real genius was in the strategy he implemented with his 5 sons. He sent each son to a different European financial center. Amschel stayed in Frankfurt, Salomon went to Vienna, Nathan to London, Kalman to Naples, and James to Paris. This wasn't just geographic expansion. It was the creation of an interconnected family network that operated as a single financial organism, applying ancient Jewish principles on a continental scale. Within a few decades, the Rothschilds financed the defeat of Napoleon, loaned fortunes to governments, controlled the gold market, and became the richest family in the world. How? Through 5 principles we're about to explore. The Talmud teaches extensively about the importance of family and community. There's a saying, Kol Yisrael Arevim Ze Baze. All Jews are responsible for one another. The Rothschilds took this to the extreme. By placing each son in a European capital but keeping them operating as one unit, they created unbeatable competitive advantages. While other banks took weeks to receive information from other countries, the Rothschild brothers constantly exchanged information through private couriers and carrier pigeons. When Napoleon was defeated at Waterloo, Nathan Rothschild in London knew before the British government itself. How? His private courier system was faster than official mail. He used this information to make fortunes in the bond market. But here's what's most important: absolute trust. They never betrayed each other, never competed against one another, always supported each other. This is only possible when you have a foundation of deep shared values, exactly what Jewish tradition provides. The modern lesson: build your own network of trust. It doesn't have to be biological family, but it needs to be people with aligned values, who support each other mutually, who share information and opportunities. Collective prosperity always beats individualistic competition. The Talmud is extremely sophisticated in financial matters. It discusses investments, risk management, diversification, business ethics, contracts, loans. It's a 2,000-year-old financial treatise. The Rothschilds didn't just read the Talmud spiritually, they applied it practically. Each son was rigorously educated in finance from childhood. They learned not just how to make money, but how to preserve it, multiply it, and transmit it to future generations. The Talmud teaches the principle of diversification. Let your money be divided into 3 parts: 1/3 in land, 1/3 in merchandise, and 1/3 kept liquid. The Rothschilds followed this religiously. They invested in government bonds, real estate, mining, railroads, wines. Never put all their eggs in one basket. They also applied the principle of intelligent leverage. The Talmud permits loans, but with ethical limits. The Rothschilds loaned enormous amounts to governments, but always with solid guarantees and clear terms. They understood calculated risk versus reckless speculation. The modern lesson: invest in financial education as a priority investment. Not just superficial courses, but deep study. Read financial history. Study the masters. Understand timeless principles. The world's richest family was built on knowledge, not luck. Here's a brutal historical reality. Jews in Europe were systematically excluded from owning land and exercising most professions. They were forced into commerce and finance, areas Christians considered dirty because they involved money. But what seemed like a curse, Jews transformed into a blessing. They became absolute masters of what they were allowed to do. And the Rothschilds took this to perfection. They identified a specific niche: government financing. Kings and governments always needed money for wars, infrastructure, operations, but traditional banks had difficulties operating internationally. The Rothschilds, with their network of 5 brothers in 5 countries, could move money across borders with unprecedented ease. They specialized so much in this niche that they became indispensable. Governments had no viable alternative. The Rothschilds didn't try to do everything. They did one thing better than anyone in the world. The Talmud teaches, Tafasta meruba lo tafasta. If you try to grasp too much, you grasp nothing. Focus is power. The Rothschilds focused on international government financing and completely dominated it. The modern lesson: identify your strategic niche. Where can you become irreplaceable? Where can you create such a large competitive advantage that competition becomes irrelevant? Don't try to be average at many things. Be exceptional at one specific thing. Tzedakah isn't optional charity in Judaism. It's a moral obligation. Even the poor are obligated to give to those even poorer. And the Rothschilds, being immensely wealthy, donated proportionally. But they understood tzedakah at Maimonides' highest level, not just giving alms, but empowering people. They financed hospitals, schools, synagogues, libraries. They helped establish the State of Israel. They created foundations that exist to this day. This wasn't just kindness, it was intelligent strategy. By supporting Jewish communities throughout Europe, they strengthened their network. By financing education, they created capable future partners. By practicing visible generosity, they built reputation and trust. The Talmud says, "More than the rich does for the poor does for the rich." When you give, you keep the flow of abundance circulating in your life. You signal to the universe and your subconscious that you operate in abundance, not scarcity. The Rothschilds understood that wealth that doesn't circulate rots. Wealth that flows through you to bless others returns multiplied. It's not magic, it's spiritual law confirmed by thousands of years of experience. The modern lesson: institute your own tzedakah practice. Set aside a fixed percentage of your income for causes that matter. Not when there's leftover, but first. And whenever possible, give in ways that empower, not create dependency. Perhaps the most important principle of all. The Talmud constantly emphasizes thinking in generations, not years. Plant trees under whose shade you will never sit is classic Jewish wisdom. The Rothschild motto was Concordia, Integritas, Industria. Harmony, integrity, industry. And they made a radical decision: keep the business exclusively family-run for generations. No external partners, no IPO, absolute control within the family. Why? Because external partners think in quarters, family thinks in centuries. The Rothschilds were willing to sacrifice short-term profits for long-term stability. They were building for their great-grandchildren, not the next balance sheet. They also maintained marriages within the Jewish community, often between cousins, to preserve values and wealth. It may sound strange today, but it was a deliberate strategy of cultural and financial preservation. The modern lesson: for every important financial decision, ask yourself, does this benefit only me now or my children and grandchildren later? Are you consuming your future or building for it? Are you thinking in months or decades? The Rothschilds weren't about greed or selfish accumulation. They were about systematic application of principles tested for millennia. Network of trust, rigorous education, niche mastery, strategic generosity, and generational vision. These are the 5 pillars that transformed a family from a ghetto into a dynasty that influences the world to this day. And here's the liberating truth. These principles aren't. You don't need to be a Rothschild. You don't need to be Jewish. You don't need to have millions. You need to understand and apply timeless wisdom. Start building your network of trust. Invest seriously in financial education. Identify and master your niche. Practice consistent generosity. Think in generations, not months. If you do this, in one generation, you can completely transform your family's financial trajectory. If this video revealed powerful principles for you, hit that like button now. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications because we keep exploring how ancient wisdom creates modern wealth. And comment below. Which of the 5 principles do you most need to apply? Which will you implement first? I want to know, and I'll respond to you. Remember, the Rothschilds proved that Jewish wisdom isn't abstract theory. It's concrete strategy that creates wealth lasting centuries. Apply these principles, and you can create your own legacy. See you in the next video. Until then, build with ancient wisdom.